Hello, I'm Deb Morgan and I'm the Real Relationships Expert. And I'd like to talk to you today about perspectives. Why is it important that we consider perspectives in a relationship? Well, I want to share a story with you first of all. Recently, my son asked if I would watch a musical with him that he was streaming on one of the streaming TV channels. It was a live recording of the musical Come From Away. Now, if you don't know the story of that musical, it tells the story of 9/11, but it tells it from the perspective of a small community called Gander in Newfoundland and the passengers of the 38 planes that were grounded and diverted to Newfoundland when the US airspace closed on that day back in 2001. And it tells how the passengers on those planes had no idea what was going on initially. And then they were catching up with the news as it unfolded in front of the rest of the world through local radio, through the television. And it also told the story of the population of the town, which doubled in size for 5 days whilst the passengers of those planes were resident in their community. And those passengers only had their hand luggage with them for 5 days. So it's a really good illustration of how people view the same thing from different perspectives. Because all of us are individuals, and in relationships, we all bring our individuality. We have our unique quirks and nuances that build in the relationship. And some of those quirks and idiosyncrasies really wind our partner up. Our partner will have quirks and idiosyncrasies that wind us up. But those are the things that make us individual. And so often when I'm working with my clients in relationships, they are very quick to say, he did something wrong, she said something wrong, this was wrong, that wasn't right. And one of the exercises I do with them is to ask them to look at it from each other's perspective. Look at the situation based on what else is going on in that person's life, because we all react or respond differently based on what is happening for us in our life at that moment, based on what information we have around the event, what knowledge we have of the event, what previous experience we may have of a similar event. Perspective makes a massive, massive difference on things we are facing in our relationship, and things that you might find just not a problem might cause a massive problem for your partner. And that really, as I said at the top of this live, came to mind when I was watching the musical Come From Away. And if you haven't seen it, I certainly recommend that you do, because it gives a really clear illustration on how an event that impacted the entire world impacts everybody slightly differently. And it's a brilliant musical to watch anyway, just for the sheer enjoyment of fantastic theatre from highly trained professional actors. So, if you want to know more about perspectives, want to know more about how they impact your relationship, get in touch, put a comment below wherever you are watching this. I am going live across all of my social media. So please let me know where you're watching. If you're watching on replay, use the hashtag replay, and get in touch if you've got any questions or queries. Thanks very much for joining me today. I will see you very, very soon.